All right, ladies, let's be real. A lot of Christian women are single, not because you can't find a man, but because something deeper is going on. And it's not just that men aren't stepping up or the dating pool's dry or whatever other stuff we tell ourselves. Today, what I want to talk to you about are 3 reasons a lot of Christian women are still single, and I promise it's not what you've been told in church. So if you've been praying, waiting, wondering why nothing's happening, stick around. This just might flip your perspective. Hey, welcome to RelationShots. If this is your first time hanging out with us, don't forget to download your free guide to intimacy. You'll see a link in the description area below, as well as links for a lot of other resources that may help you in your relationship journey. But today, what we're talking about are why Christian women are staying single. And I have 3 thoughts on why this is happening that I want to talk to you about today, right? So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm not going to give any other fluff. Number 1 reason that Christian women are staying single is bad theology. That's it. I want to start with bad theology. A lot of Christian women have been told, just wait on God to bring you your husband. Now listen, I get the heart behind that. It's about trusting God's timing. But the way it's often taught, it makes it sound like you're just supposed to sit back, do nothing, like one day God's just going to drop your man on your doorstep with a bow on his head. And that's not how God works in any other area of our lives. And I wonder why we think he's going to work differently when it comes to our relationships, right? You don't just wait for a job to land in your lap. You apply, you show up, you do interviews, you network, you talk to people, you find headhunters. You don't just wait for your degree to show up on your doorstep. You study, you register, you grind. We do all these things. And then somehow when it comes to our marriages, the church is teaching us you just need to wait on God, right? Just be in the house of the Lord, serving and being faithful. And when you're proven faithful, God will bring the right person to you, right? You do not wait for friendships or opportunities to magically appear in any area of your life. You take initiative. So when it comes to marriage, why do we treat marriage like it's the one area of life where we're supposed to be completely passive? The truth is, God works with us. He doesn't work instead of us, in spite of us. He blesses our steps, not our standstill, where we're just sitting around. So many people quit waiting on your Boaz. And first of all, if you've ever thought that or said that or believed that, please go read the book of Ruth. Ruth did not wait on anything. And it's not the romantic Netflix Hallmark movie relationship anyway. There was an obligation that Boaz had as a person who was related to them, that if somebody's husband died, there was an obligation for somebody in the family to take them as their wife so that the lineage could carry on, right? That was what happened in the story of Ruth, not some romantic deal. If you've taught or you've been taught that the best way to prepare for your husband is to faithfully serve at church, and when you do, God will bring the right one, here's what I want you to do. Next time you're at church, I want you to poll 20 married women and ask them, where did you meet your husband? I'm pretty sure 0 will say at church, because very few people statistically find their spouse at church. So if you've been taught that waiting on God means doing nothing, it's time to rethink that, because waiting in faith still involves movement. It's prayer and participation. God will absolutely guide you, but you've got to be walking for him to steer you. So the number 1 reason I think Christian women are still single is you getting some bad theology from the pulpit. A number 2 reason Christian women are still single is unrealistic expectations. This is huge, right? Especially in the social media age. We're living in a world where everyone's relationship looks perfect online. You got matching outfits, sunset photos, daily devotionals together. And if you're not careful, you can start forming a fantasy in your head that doesn't actually exist. Some Christian women are holding out for this perfect guy who's like part Jesus, part Michael B. Jordan, part financial advisor, 6 feet tall, prays for you daily, has no baggage, leads Bible study, owns property, makes 6 figures, right? The whole 666. 6 figures, 6 foot, 6 pack. That's like 0.1% of the population of men. And if you actually do find that, then please send me a message, because everyone will want to know how you did that so they can study your case so they can reproduce it. But here's what research shows. The more options we think we have, the harder it is to make a decision. It's called decision overload or decision fatigue. And then when you do make a decision, the less satisfied you are with the decision. This is research, has shown this. When we got way too many decisions, it becomes hard to make one. And then when we finally make one, we have like decision regret. We think maybe we made the wrong decision and maybe there's something better out there. So if your expectation list is a mile long, you might be screening out good men who could actually grow with you. Marriage isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about finding someone you can grow with. Now, what I'm not saying is go find a project with potential, because you're not in control of that. What I am saying is you're not going to find somebody that's fully complete. You want character. You want some competency. You want teachability. Yes, you want some shared values. But you are not going to find a flawless Instagram husband. And remember, your standards should also reflect God's priorities, not our cultural highlight reels. So a lot of Christian women are still single because you just have an unrealistic expectation of what it should be. And again, I'm not saying settle. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying cultivate healthy, realistic expectations, because unrealistic expectations may be keeping you single. And a third reason I think a lot of Christian women are single, this might sting a little bit, is selfishness. And I get it. Being single can be comfortable. You make your own schedule, spend your money how you want, travel when you want. It's simple, it's drama-free, and honestly, sometimes it's easier than dealing with another human being. So the question becomes, why would I change that? And that's part of the problem. For some women, there's just not much incentive to move towards marriage. And you're sitting on the other side of the camera going, exactly, so why would I do it? Well, this is not going to support it, but research actually shows that single women report higher levels of satisfaction than single men. But for men, it's the opposite. Married men tend to be happier than single men. So, right, which is saying that the two happiest people on earth are married men and single women, which just doesn't fit very well, right? So here's the deal. You may be doing great, career's good, friendships are solid, you have peace of mind intact, but here's the thing. God did not design marriage because people were miserable alone. He designed it for partnership, purpose, growth, legacy, a way to model the relationship of Christ and the church. So it's not that the only people who should marry are the ones that can't stand being alone or miserable alone. You may be perfectly happy alone. But let me challenge you on this. If you're avoiding marriage just because it's complicated or because it requires sacrifice, you might be settling for comfort instead of growth. Because marriage will stretch you. It'll reveal selfishness and patience, pride, but that's where real transformation happens. So instead of asking, do I need marriage? Maybe you want to ask, am I avoiding it because it challenges me? Food for thought. So there you go. 3 big reasons Christian women are staying single: bad theology, unrealistic expectations, and selfishness. And none of those mean you're doing something wrong. It just means it's time to get honest about what's holding you back. God's not trying to keep you single. He's inviting you to grow. So stop waiting on God to drop someone in your lap and start working with him toward the kind of relationship you want. That means you might actually have to go date, which means you have to get out of your house, and you may have to get out of your church, because those are 2 places you're probably not going to find your future husband. If this hit home, drop a comment below. Tell me which one you relate most to. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, send it their way. Until next time, I'll see you right back here on RelationShots.